You listen, you can't warn me.
Okay. We'll call the meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. Roll call, please.
Williams? Espinoza? Trainer?
Here.
Haas? Landers?
Here.
Rapp? Here. Peters?
Here. For the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could we have a motion to approve the regular meeting agenda, please?
Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Rapp? Yes. Kumitas?
Yes.
Haas?
Yes.
Landers?
Yes.
Espinoza?
Yes.
Schrader?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Opportunity for public comment. Okay. And then a motion for approval of consent agenda, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. 5.1 disposition of minutes for February 2024. 5.2 payment of bills. 5.3 district treasurer's report. 5.4 interest and activity fund report, cafeteria report, and 5.5 the personnel report.
And second? Second.
And just to point out, as we have been doing for about the last year or so, contracts, individual contracts are in the personnel report. We also give you a copy of the actual verbiage in your board books. And so as part of the approval of the personnel is the approval of our new principal at Lincoln that we're very excited about.
Landers?
Yes.
Haas?
Yes.
Schrader?
Yes.
Espinoza?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Rapp?
Yes.
Peters?
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to information. Do we have FOIA?
Go, man.
And your reports, please.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to add and just kind of put on everybody's radar is, I had a meeting recently with a couple of people who are interested in utilizing our existing, old tennis courts that we don't do anything with. And so what they would like to do is they would like to set up equipment and turn it into a skate park.
Mm.
And so, I'm continuing to have conversations about that. And so if we were to move down that path, then there would be an MOU probably with the city, because they would probably be kind of the key holders to that. And that MOU would outline kind of what responsibilities are and different things, and would probably be in, a 3 or 5 year commitment, something like that. But in my 3 years that I've been here, all we've done is mow it and spray for weeds. So if we can have an activity there that would benefit the community, I think it's definitely worth investigating. So I'll keep you posted.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is that all you have?
It is.
Okay. Do we have a presentation or anything tonight?
We do.
You do.
Sorry.
It's only 30 minutes. I'm just
I
started adding pictures. I'm
Here you
like,
go. I'll grab the
this
picture.
might.
You just stole them all.
Stole your line?
Yeah. That's what I said yesterday.
Oh, do we need to close some lights? Yeah.
Really getting Vanish in here now.
Yeah, we already got them. Go.
And this presentation has also been uploaded into your board books if you want to see it, at your leisure.
There, got a little bright. Okay, so I was asked to put some pictures together and just kind of highlight some things that we've been doing at Blackstone this year. And it was really hard to narrow down, but it was super fun to go through all the pictures and things and kind of try to narrow it down just to show you guys a few things. One of the first things I want to start with is positive student recognition. We do that a lot here at Blackstone. Some of the things, this is just kind of a snapshot. Over on the left, the top corner, we have a Kind Kid of the Month, and we have one from each classroom, so we snap a picture of them each month in the picture, or in the banner that's hanging down by the gym. In the middle there, the students, the big group, it's principal award winners. We do those once a month, and we have a pizza lunch, and their picture goes in the newspaper, and when it's their week, their name's on the sign. They think they're famous in Mendota, which is pretty awesome. The You Are Awesome, our teachers send home positive positive postcards throughout the year. We purchase the postcards, get them stamped, and then they send them home to their students throughout the year for various things that they've done well in the classroom. It could be academics, it could be just being a good friend, it could be anything. My very favorite thing that we do to recognize students in a positive way, in the bottom left-hand corner, I've got a student there on the phone, he's calling his mom. We have positive office referrals, and kids can get sent to the office for positive things, and we call home, and every parent, probably 95% of like, I'll say, oh, I had Johnny in the office, they're like, oh my gosh, what'd they do? I'm like, no, listen, it's great. So that's super fun. And the middle two on the bottom, just a couple things we do with our kindness. You probably saw the kindness board when you come in. Kids can earn golden coins this month for being kind. We change that every month in our chain too. Just some outside fun, the kids outside playing. We've been teased with some very warm weather, and it's hard to get them back in their coats right now, but we're working on that. The new piece of equipment that the district allowed us and supported us to put in last year has been amazing. The kids love it. It's so much fun, and they've been doing a lot of fun things outside. We last year started adding some like sensory path things out on the blacktop. We painted those ourselves, and we purchased them all, but we didn't put them all down. We're waiting to see if we have blacktop this summer before we put the rest down, so we don't have to do it twice. You've heard me talk before about our kindness projects. Every month we pick a kindness project, and we go out into the community and do different things, and we showcase a class each month. We did National Good Neighbor Day in September, where every kid made a card, sent home with a letter. Make sure you go with your child to give it to a neighbor and not just give it to a stranger. We did placemats for the nursing homes at Thanksgiving. We collected items for pads in December for the shelter. In February, we made Valentine's Day cards, and I worked with a hospital on this, and we took them to the hospital, but we also had them send them out with the Meals on Wheels program for those that are shut in, and they get meals delivered to them. And we actually had 2 people call like as soon as they got them, and the one lady was in tears. She's like, no one ever remembers us, we don't have family, and just to get a little kid's card was super cool too. In March, we're doing a spring cleanup, and then in April, we've already decided that we're going to do something for IVAR, National Adopt a Pet Day or something towards the end of April. So we have a lot of fun stuff there. Just some pictures from the first grade field trip to Boggio's in the fall. That was in September. No pictures of kindergarten because they're yet to go. We will go later this spring, but they had a great time there. Halloween fun. We dressed up. Here at Blackstone, the kids rotate around during the parties, and the parents plan different activities in each classroom, and they rotate around and play different games throughout the day, and enjoy a snack as well. Or a ton of Halloween pictures to look at. We have various spirit days throughout the year. The kids love these. We try to make them so parents don't have to go out and buy things, costumes and things like that. You know, we have color days, or like we're having a March Madness Day next week, and if you don't have a basketball shirt, wear the colors of your favorite team. A new one we did, the top left corner, we did a glow day this year. The first day back from winter break, and that was fun, like bring in a shiny bright new year. Purple and gold day, sports day. They all love pajama day. Red ribbon week in the bottom right corner. We have dress up days throughout the district every day. That was ties or tie-dye day. So those are fun, the kids look forward to those. Christmas, here are some activities that we did. We had, kind of like Halloween, we do rotations in the classroom. We had Santa and Mrs. Claus visit this year. One super awesome thing new for us this year was having our Christmas program at the high school. It was beautiful. to have the kids in the auditorium and up on the stage and under the lights. And the high school was amazing to work with, their music department, and they had students help as well, so it was really nice to have that there. But we did games, we had a pizza party for lunch with all of the kids as well, the day before we got out. It's hard to entertain kids the last couple days before Christmas break, isn't it, girls?
It is.
Early elementary, the 100th day of school is a big deal. We had a dress up day, dress like you're 100 years old. Notice my picture's not up there, but I can show it to you if you'd like at some point. We had a lot of fun with that. A lot of activities around the number 100 in PE and building things in STEAM class and in math, and even into writing. We, incorporated a lot with the 100th day of school. So that was a lot of fun. There were some very creative costumes that day as well. We just finished Dr. Seuss week. We had dress up days throughout the week too. Like, we have a book of the day. So like when Cat in the Hat was the book of the day, it was Hat Day. We read the book My Many Colored Days, and it was a colorful, bright day. We did a reading challenge as well. And the students took a board home, and they could cross out the activities they did. They were things like read in the bathtub, read in your car, read in a silly voice, read under the kitchen table, just different things that they could do. And if they did the whole board, they were invited to a Dr. Seuss breakfast, which we had Dr. Seuss donuts and milk, and had a celebration one day before school. So that was a lot of fun, promoting the love of reading. This is new for us this year, the Paw Pride assemblies, kind of tied in like Paula does with Spartan Smart. It's been so much fun, and the kids love it. They come to school that day, and they know it's a half a day, and they're like, oh, it's Paw Pride Assembly Day. So we play different games. We pick one game a month, and then we draw names of students to win prizes. The students can earn golden tickets every day for good behavior if they keep all of their paws, and their golden ticket goes in a bucket in their classroom. And when we come to the assembly each month, the teachers bring their bucket and they dump it into one big tub, and we mix them up and draw names. The very top left corner was our first assembly. We were able to have it outside because it was super nice. Then the kids, when their name's drawn, they get to come up and pick a prize. In October, we wrapped students and staff like mummies. We did a pie at Thanksgiving. The little girl with her face in the pie. There were little pumpkin candies, and they were on the bottom of the tin, and we filled it with whipped cream, and you had to put your face in one pan to get it and then spit it in the pan next to you. That was so much fun. We were laughing. Miss Fisher and I had a good time doing that as well. The staff has been super great about wanting to do these things as well and participating. Paw Pride rewards. Our students can earn Paw Pride certificates as a class for showing good behavior throughout the school. And my Paw Pride committee, we set a goal each month, and then we determine what the reward's going to be, or each trimester, I'm sorry. So on the first trimester, our reward was a magic show. We had a magician come for all of the classes that earned their goal, and it was all of our classes. I'll be honest, there's never been a time when a class hasn't been invited to one of these, but they don't know that. Mm-hmm. On the right, we just had our second trimester party, and we had a dance party, which was super fun. We filled the gym with balloons. We bought a disco light, and they had a lot of fun. Mrs. Kiefer in the bottom right corner was helping me out, and she was having a blast dancing as well. The kids had a lot of fun. They got to request their songs. And then our third trimester reward is going to be our bounce house party. So there's no kids in those pictures, but that is what we've reserved for the end of the year. So they're working to earn 25 right now in this trimester. So we're super excited about that. That'll be one of our last days in June. I think that's all I have. Yep. Do you have any questions or anything?
Super impressive, Stacy. I think just as much as we can bring more of that over to Lincoln, and continue with this. It's incredible. Like it's a feeling, it's a culture that you've built, and it's incredible. And thank you. Yeah, lots to be proud of.
I have a great team. We work well together.
Wasn't 30 minutes.
And like Teresa was just alluding to, those are the things that, Elissa has already helped to transition, over to Lincoln. I think they've been much more productive, in the last couple of months at that student recognition and that positive reinforcement. And again, it all spawns from, a lot of the things that were started at Northbrook, and that consistency committee, right? Really, that's the genesis of all that. All those conversations about all of these points last year then have been articulated into results this year. And that committee continues to work on different things this year that will, again, articulate into results next year. So just trying to have the student experience be more common as they move from grade level to grade level.
Very cool. Okay, you don't have any board committees or reports, correct? With just one question on it, let me think about it. The health insurance committee, when does that start?
That does need to meet probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks, would be my guess.
Okay.
Probably right after break.
Okay. So moving on to action items, we need to set our schedule for next year's board meetings. Is there any administrative proposals to anything different than what we have now?
No, we use the same format for the year.
Anybody have any questions, comments, suggestions? Good? Okay. Is there a list of them somewhere, is it just that it's the?
Should be, it should have
It
been
was
in the packet.
okay, I just wanna make sure,
Yep.
so we're just gonna say as presented then?
Yep.
Okay, so motion to set board meeting dates as presented, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the board meeting for 2024-2025 as presented.
Second? Second. Roll call.
Williams?
Yep.
Espinoza?
Yes.
Schrader?
Yes.
Haas?
Yes.
Landers?
Yes.
Rapp?
Yes.
Camitas?
Yes. Okay, item 7.2 is our approval of reemployment of our first year teachers. Are we saying the names out loud?
Sure.
Okay. On the second page. We could have a motion to approve the reemployment of first year teachers under 7.2, please.
I make a motion to approve the reemployment of first-year teachers, 7.2, Summer Burton, Michelle Johnson, Kelly Knapp, Elizabeth Medina, Lynette Hiller, James Schweinberg, Nevaeh Sheaves, Tiffany Shirley, Sandra Singer, and Victoria Tully.
And a second.
What's that one?
Oh, we keep going, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. With second year teacher?
Yeah, also adding in second-year teachers, Elizabeth Ass, Melissa Bloom, Tori Koppel, Michael Dalton, Christopher Hansen, Stephen Wasmer.
Amanda, the first one, Kaylee Althouse, she's actually resigned, so we
Okay.
need to skip her.
And on to third-year teachers, Emily Dooley and Melissa Crowe.
A second for 7.2?
Second.
Roll call.
Camitas?
Yes.
Rapp?
Yes.
Landers?
Yes.
Haas? Schrader?
Yes.
Espinoza?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
7.3, granting tenure status to our fourth year teachers, please.
Motion to grant tenure status to fourth-year teachers.
Second. Can you read them?
Heather Friedline, Abby Higdon, Angela Nondorf, Sydney Wilhelm.
And Brenda second. Roll call.
Williams?
Yes.
Espinoza?
Yes.
Schrader?
Yes.
Camitas?
Yes.
Rapp?
Yes.
Landers?
Yes.
Haas?
Yes.
Congratulations to those teachers, that's super exciting.
Yes, it is.
Alright, moving on to item 7.4. We could have a motion, please. Who would like to read that?
I'll read it. Motion to adopt the resolution authorizing non-reemployment of a full-time, non-tenured teacher in their final probationary year to Troy Bauer as presented.
Second.
Cletus,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Landers,
Yes.
Cos,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Espinoza,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Item 7.5 to remove asbestos. This is those areas we talked about previously in Northbrook.
Correct.
Motion, please.
Make a motion to approve the asbestos abatement for the 2024 locker room renovations with demolition services, Inc. of $77,000 as presented.
Second.
I'll second.
And roll call.
Williams,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Espinoza,
Yes.
Cos,
Yes.
Landers,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Cletus.
Yes. The next one we will have a discussion on, this is our student activity fees. Do you wanna walk through what you provided?
Yeah, provided in your packet, was a listing of all of the, activity fees for all the conferences, plus what they do at the high school. So just kind of in summary, at $35 an activity, we're kind of in the middle. There are quite a few that are higher. There are a couple that don't do any at all. You know, we did discuss, previously that this is a revenue stream for us. Again, it's not a huge revenue stream. Off the top of my head, it was $6,000 a year, somewhere in that neighborhood. And there was conversation on if we wanted to keep that the same, if we wanted to amend that, if we wanted to maybe put some limits in there, if we wanted to wordsmith that a little differently. And so just to open that floor for that continued conversation.
After going through it, I liked where we're at. I think that's fine. I would just hope that we can, keep to the front that there is coverage for people who need it. I don't know if that's known as well as maybe it could be.
Yeah, we certainly make sure that students aren't denied those opportunities.
Yeah.
Based on finances. I don't think I'm misspeaking in saying that's of paramount importance to us to make sure that never happens.
Absolutely.
Anything else? On it? I can't believe Panama does a different one for every sport, it's gotta be a lot.
Yeah, good luck keeping track of that.
That's a job and a half.
Yeah.
That's not a million dollar activity fees in our small districts.
Is it an automatic thing if somebody qualifies for
Free lunch.
free or reduced that we automatically waive?
No, it isn't automatic. In general, we know, so we're kind of conscientious of that. You know, we offer the assistance. Most people reach out prior to even tryouts, or things like that, so.
If somebody's joined the team, like made the team, joined the team, hasn't paid, and you know that they do qualify for that, we've never like discontinued a child from playing because of?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Good. Questions? Okay, so then for 7.6, it would be to retain $35 per sport.
We just don't need to do anything, it's already in place.
All right, good.
Is there a cap?
Currently there's not.
Okay.
So do we need to move to remove 7.6 then?
Yeah, we can just go to 7.7. We don't need to do anything,
Okay.
as long as there's no change.
All right, if there's nobody speaking up on it, we'll move on to 7.7 then.
Yeah, so the 1% sales tax, I put together a white paper for you. Hopefully that was fairly easy to read. It's called the countywide school facilities tax. And the reason why it's called that is because it can only be used for facilities. It's done by county and it's only on sales tax. And again, not all sales tax. I think the big ones that you look at that are automatically not a part of this are if you go to the grocery store or to the drugstore, or anything to do with agriculture, basically. And so roughly half of the counties in the state of Illinois, actually I think it's a little over half the counties in Illinois, have a countywide schools facility tax. That tax then is collected countywide, distributed to schools on a per student basis. Has to be used for facilities. Can't go for salaries, benefits, books. Has to be spent on brick and mortar, as it were. Or paying off loans affiliated with brick and mortar purchases, correct. This gained a large amount of momentum actually in the state of Iowa, where each county in Iowa had gone through and passed the 1% facility sales tax, and then afterwards they made it state law after every county had passed it. And since then, every election cycle, there's 4, 5, 6 counties who have it on the ballot again. I believe in LaSalle County, it's been on the ballot twice in the last maybe dozen years, obviously voted down each time. And so there's conversation again about putting that back on the ballot. For us, it would be in the neighborhood of, it'd be in excess of $900,000 a year that we would receive. And one of the things that makes it so attractive for us sitting here in Mendota is we have 3 pretty significant sources of people coming from even outside of LaSalle County, coming into our county while they're in our county, buying things, spending money, and then leaving. And so that net inflow, because of the I-80 corridor, because of the I-39 corridor, and because of Starved Rock, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of people go through Starved Rock every year, but it's a huge number, right? All those people are spending money.
About $1 million.
About $1 million. And so all of those people are spending money. And so that tax flow is a net positive for LaSalle County. And even more so for us.
Where do you
out
come
here.
up with the number of the 900,000? How do you get that?
I had that sent to me by, so there are a couple of big groups who keep a really close track on what these numbers look like and what those projections and estimates would be. One of them is a group called Stiefel Nicholas, and they loan schools money. And so one of the kind of angles on this is that if this gets passed, then like we use Bernardi Securities, Kevin Wills, for our bonding that we do. And so one of the things that you can do once this passes is bonding companies will let you sell bonds on the anticipated revenue. And so if, let's say that ours is $1 million a year, over the next 15 years, it's $15 million. So we could sell $15 million worth of bonds, put a wing on Blackstone, move the pre-K over here, I'm just talking out loud. You know, something like that. And so that's kind of, so those firms, because they have that as possible future business, they keep a real close tab on what that might look like.
Well, and I think from what I understand from just attending my own 2 districts board meetings, they mentioned that, in one of the districts that they determined based on how much they would have made the last time if it would have passed. So they knew that each year it would have given them 55,000 based on the small district that was. So they knew, like, even based on that, if it would have passed. And they've already talked about, like, just like Brad said, what it would benefit Boston, like,
I understand that it's for facilities only. Would that mean that you would reallocate the funds of where you're thinking of putting that now so that it's useful for other things, or is that?
There's quite a long lead time on it.
Yeah, so it would be a year and a half or 2 years. Well, so the election that we're talking about is a year out, and then from that, you're looking at another 12 or 18 months before you actually see
Right,
revenue.
say this
But-
was happening
Yep.
today.
Yeah, so just, again, complete transparency, because that's the best policy. Yeah, very much, there can definitely be a kind of a shell game with this, right? And so if now all of a sudden there is an extra revenue stream with respect to facilities, then we don't have to levy as much. in local tax money to support our facilities. That's, again, that's a possible path. And then you could increase your levy somewhere else to be able to spend money and keep your tax rate the same, for sure. But those are all kinds of conversations.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that, is super common is, you know, if our tax rate to pay off our debt is somewhere in the neighborhood of 42 cents a year on our local property tax bills. Well, that 1.2 million that we have to pay in our debt every year, now all of a sudden, if we've got $1 million in any given year, we can take that $1 million, have it offset our debt, and then we can keep our tax rate from increasing. We can drop it a certain amount if we want, because we have that revenue stream. So there are a lot of different conversations that you can have around this.
So, in a nutshell, if this were to pass in 2025, some of the burden from real estate taxes would be lessened.
It could be.
Could be.
Could be, correct. That would be a decision that you all would make as a group.
These never pass unless it's a coordinated effort across the county. Can you tell us who else is considering to put this on?
So the process is, I would say over the last maybe 3 months, the countywide superintendents have been having conversations about this, trying to figure out, you know, what the best course of action would be. That's why the conversation is around the April 25 election. That would give plenty of lead time, make sure that everybody is well informed. The process is that in order for this to be on the ballot, school boards representing the majority of the students in the county have to endorse it. Okay, so let's just say that there were 10,000 students in the South County, and there was one school district that had 6,000 students. That board would have to support it, otherwise it could never be on the ballot, because that one school would have the majority of the students, okay? So, the answer to your question is, my assumption is that by the middle of the summer, the majority of the school boards will have.
Within your group, they've indicated that there's interest across the county.
Yes.
You didn't initiate this solo, like this was a group effort.
I did not initiate this, so
Okay.
that's accurate.
So we're looking at
It's been a
Ottawa,
discussion.
LaSalle, Peru, Streeter.
Yep, and right now, so now the conversation is, okay, go back to your boards, see if there's enough support for this, because if there are only boards representing 25% of the students in the county that would endorse this, well, then it can't even get on the ballot in the first place. There's no sense really continuing the conversation about it. And so now it's just a kind of that investigative phase of, what is your board's temperature on this? Is this something that they would support and endorse to be on the ballot next month?
I think, in my opinion, if we do get, and we know by summertime that everybody's on board and it's gonna hit, I think part of, to Brenda's point, I think part of our conversation ahead of that would be really taking a look at those numbers and figuring out where we could, because it's really hard to convince people to say yes to more taxes. But if you can show that
It's from out of
we,
towners.
not only that, but by collecting it from a broader group of people, we can potentially lower what we're taking, especially in like debt service or, and, you know, our facilities, and being able to not only like reduce that, but also invest. So like if we reduce the debt by $500,000 a year and invest an additional $500,000 a year in our buildings, one, you're gonna ultimately have net less out of your pocket, and we're gonna have that much more for the kids. And I think it would be important, and all these companies will give you, like you said, every bit of information you want, but being able to show the tax base, where the money's coming in from, cause like you said, majority of the tax collected is not gonna be here. It's gonna be in LaSalle, Peru. But when you pass these, it's an equitable distribution based on student count. So we, in this area, would actually get more for our schools than others would. And even in from LaSalle Cruz area, again, it's not necessarily their residents that are doing it, it's the corridor, but it has to be a coordinated PR effort to educate people, for them to understand it's not on your medical bills, it's not on your groceries, it's not on buying a car, it's not on going to the doctor, like, it's really kind of called like a luxury tax, it's when you go out to eat, it's when you go to the movies, it's when you're doing
Hotel-
things that
the
are.
hotel motel tax.
Right.
in here.
It's not on your basic needs. So there, I mean, I'm assuming if we get to that point, there would be some ramped up meetings.
Yep.
And
Yep,
materials
lots.
created and all that stuff.
Yep, and lots of community meetings, and, you know, we're doing this far enough in advance, you know, this board could have lots of conversations about, you know, what specifically, you know, might that mean for us, and so.
And I think it's important for people to know we already have it for Lee County.
Yes.
We already receive a check 7 times a year, right?
We
From
do.
Lee County.
We do, and it's not insignificant, it's tens of thousands of dollars, even though we have, you know, whatever, 100 kids in Lee County.
We
And
weren't-
maybe state what you're doing with that, if you have it earmarked specifically, like you said, for your.
It goes into our, facilities fund, but this would be like way more money.
Mhm.
But I mean, that one, we honestly didn't even, back then, when that passed, we didn't even really pay attention or know we weren't part of the conversation, because we were so small in the numbers. And so it was like, oh, look what happened, that was super exciting.
Yep, for sure, for sure.
Okay, so at this point, it is just to indicate the board's support for placing it. Obviously, we're not the only ones.
Correct.
Everybody else has to
Correct.
go along with it.
And it doesn't have to be a motion, it can be a straw poll, I just need to have some information to be able to take back to my group to say, yeah, my board is or is not interested.
Could you call a roll call, even though it's not gonna be a motion, just so we can kind of feel out
Sure.
where everybody's at?
Williams,
No.
Espinoza,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Cost, Landers,
Yeah.
Rapp,
Yes.
Camitas.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I need to
Somebody
think.
give okay with
Yep, thanks for the conversation.
Is this, who we would have, is the possibility of two of us being different for the board at the time of the 2025? No?
It doesn't matter. But she's saying like, the
Just-
board members change before the election, it doesn't change the districts.
Correct.
Yeah.
Stance.
Correct, correct, and, yeah, correct. Okay.
So we're gonna move that 7.8.
Actually, we'd just like to have the executive session now, if that's okay?
Yep, so we're gonna, we motion to move executive session ahead of 7.8.
Sure, we can do 7.9 first. Doesn't matter to me, but I'm not,
So then let's just motion to move 7. Oh, you want to
we
discuss?
can move 7.8 to the end before executive session.
Okay, so
Yep.
7.8 will go below 8.1.
Perfect.
Do we have a motion for that, please?
I'll make a motion to move 7.8 prior to executive session.
In a second.
Second.
And roll call.
Williams,
Yes.
Espinoza,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Cost,
Yes.
Landers,
Yeah.
Rapp,
Yes.
Camitas.
Yes. Okay, so we will move that down, so moving on to 7.9.
Yeah, so, in continued conversations that really kind of started, if you recall, with the GRP kind of master plan, and then the conversation about how they had bleachers rated a lot higher than I did, and what that looked like. And then on the heels of the fact that our Northbrook solar wasn't getting nearly the investment that we thought it was because of our kind of transformer issues. So then the conversation was to look at having the Northbrook bleachers renovated this summer. And so we put out that bid, and we followed the competitive bid process, meaning that we advertised in the newspaper, we put it on our website, and the bad news is we only received one bid, which I don't like at all, but at the same point in time, it was a very, what I'm gonna call fair and competitive price bid. I had made several comments that I really kind of thought that the project was gonna come in at about 103. I was probably using a little bit of dated information, but, I think it actually came in at 114, so I'm very comfortable making that recommendation.
Can I ask a question? What is gonna be the seating in those bleachers?
So we
Are
are.
we losing seating, or
So
what's
so the net, so it's probably, it's maybe a net loss of a couple. We're actually moving to one solid piece all the way across. So currently there's I'm gonna call it a 7 or 8 foot gap in the
Mhm.
middle. That will actually be bleachers now. However, because to get them to conform with kind of the way the floor sits and the way the bleachers, to get them to expand fully and have that work correctly, we're actually gonna lose a row.
Okay, I just was wondering.
I don't know, before we take the motion, is anyone comfortable, not comfortable? You're shaking your head no, because you don't have questions, or you
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You're good.
I think those bleachers should have been replaced 20 years ago.
Paul, you're paying people. I
No,
know you are.
no, I thought that's
Like, my heart is palpitating right now, I'm literally like.
I'm all about bleachers, sorry.
Those are the loveliest bleachers.
They're dangerous.
Well,
Yeah.
they're not really like a normal step either.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
climbing Mount Everest to get up them.
And the holes in between.
Yeah.
And these will have 3 sets, I should have put a schematic in there. 3 rows, each of the rows up the bleachers will have railings up the bleachers.
When they say
So
NMS.
When they're closed, I've been told
Or
they're
my
gonna have a
picture, Holly.
falling
I'm
down.
sorry.
Still deciding.
Sorry, I kinda like a visual, sorry. No, they probably needed to be replaced when I was a student at Northbrook, like.
They'll have handicap seating in the front.
Very
as
nice,
well.
thank
Yep.
you.
Oh my
And there's
gosh,
enough that,
neat.
like, if you wanted to host a sectional, you know what I
Yes.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love the idea, but I feel like we did a lot of nickel and diming-ish on the GOP Wegman stuff, and we've pulled back a lot from spending, and we've made that something we've talked about as being important, and now we're ready to spend some money again, and I guess I'm just kind of asking, maybe why now, or why is this okay, or?
Yeah, so the conversation was that, when it wasn't economically advantageous to do the transformer upgrade at Northbrook, that wasn't gonna pay off in the long run. We were at a point where we had already approved a budget, we already had kind of a track of what we were gonna spend. And when we were able to, when we didn't upgrade that transformer, that meant that we were gonna spend about $300,000 less, on that solar part of the project, right? And so then, as looking at that needs assessment document, that we went through and talked about, especially because there had been some conversation about it, this seemed like a natural fit to move forward and get this done, and still be well underneath that $300,000 that we were, had that kind of hole in our budget.
Sarah, do you have any questions?
No, I can't think of any.
If everyone's comfortable, then could we have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the Northbrook bleacher bid of $114,048.78.
Second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Schrader,
Yes.
Haas,
Yeah.
Landers,
Yes.
Rapp,
Yes.
Kumitas,
Yes.
Espinoza,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Okay, can we move to item 8.1?
For sure, and this is just a conversation, but it's one that's really kind of an ongoing conversation, about what those additional student supports are and what they look like. Really kind of the 2 big items that we've been looking at are, currently we have, what I'm gonna call an ESL coordinator at Northbrook, somebody who, really is able to spend their entire day working with the ESL students across all grade levels. That's been extremely, impactful in a positive way. And as we look at the student needs that we have at Lincoln, we transition, I should say, from in second grade where we have a truly bilingual classroom, but by the time that they are in fourth grade, they have, they're dispersed throughout all the regular classes, and there's a consolidated support system in place. And so, one of the things that we've had conversations about is emulating that model at Lincoln, where we have a specific person, and quite frankly, it doesn't even have to be a teacher. It has to be somebody who is going to be able to work with those students and be able to offer that bilingual support in order to make them more successful. Does anybody have any?
So who would it be if it's not a teacher? You're thinking like a para would do that?
No, I'm just saying, best case scenario, we would like for it to be a teacher. But as you know, teachers in general are extremely hard to find right now. And so I'm just saying if we were to write a job description to try to come up with this position, I don't know that we would particularly limit it to a teacher in case we couldn't find somebody.
It's a lot of data collection and then distribution of that data and how each kid receives services. Because everybody's different, so everybody has different needs based on their access testing. So it's really a lot of data collection and sorting that out.
So what would the reporting structure look like then? Would it be like, those would be in that building?
Would be. At Blackstone, each of the two classrooms is bilingual already.
And then what happens at Northbrook? We have one?
We do not have, we have an ESL coordinator, but we don't have
So
specific.
they do all the testing, they compile all we have a platform, so they can put all of the information in that platform. It's called Elevation. And then accommodations and modifications are given out to the teachers per student. And then all RTI, that person has RTI classes as well for students who meet the criteria for that 30 minutes of services a day for every grade level.
Having been a third grade ESL classroom teacher, I think having that support at the second, third, and fourth is extremely helpful and needed, especially with our population and the diversity in our community. And I think we wanna see them continue to grow instead of just moving them out. We need to provide them the support, and if we're going to do that, we need that support in that building and for those students.
Any questions about?
The other piece to that is one of the things that we've been talking about is we currently have 2 social workers district-wide. One of our social workers is split between Blackstone and Lincoln, and having conversations about adding a social worker, so Blackstone and Lincoln would each have one specific defined social worker. Not only would that obviously support students in additional ways, it would also support the staff, it would also support those administrators, being able to have an additional person to help work with students, especially students in crisis. And so that would be, again, that would be another way that we could better support our students.
But we don't have a clear way of how to pay them if we could find them yet, correct?
So, I would say with each of these positions, at least in the short term, we could find some grant funding for them. But I don't want to give the indication that would be the long-term solution.
offer a lot of grants for mental health support
For sure.
and big dollar amounts. So if we could.
Yep, yep, yeah, I
Can,
think,
can that be part of the, grant that the city got? That could help students?
The drug one, I think that's got different guidelines.
It's mental health as well.
Yeah, it's also not a permanent solution either. It's over what, the next 4 or 5 years,
5
that
years.
grant?
maybe, you're right, it is, mental health is part of that, but I can definitely have that
They're like-
conversation.
Isn't it through, even through ISB has like mental health?
Yep, that's one of the things that we would look at,
I think, I'm looking into, I do the Title I grant, and I think there's a way we can pull some funds for that as well, not for the whole thing, but, and that's a very stable grant that we get
Mhm.
quite a bit of money every year, so it's a possibility as well.
And Mr. Pierce has been researching grants for mental health, support as well.
I would have, like, I think it's a massive need, like, way more important to me than even like the bleachers is, so I'm like 1000% in with it, but I do think it would be, because we know there are so many resources available, we have to look at those. I mean, I don't think it would stand in the way for me if we were able to cover 50% of it or something like that, but we have to.
so I'm not hearing anything from anyone that, that they have concerns with me moving forward with investigating those 2 positions.
I would like to know, like, though, before they're posted, that, like, what they're gonna look like, what the estimated cost is gonna look like, and where you think the funding within the budget is gonna come from before it's brought, like, on a personnel report.
Yep, you bet. Will do, thank you for the conversation.
Alright, so now we need to move to executive session.
Yes, please.
With a motion, please.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session to discuss the employment and discipline of employees.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Oh, yeah, whatever, John.
Spinoza,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Cost,
Yes.
Landers,
Yes.
Kumitas,
Yes.
Rapp.
Yes, at 7:24.
We will have one piece of action afterwards, but it's just setting the meeting, special meeting date,
Correct.
so. Got french fries on the floor?
Yeah, no. That was in this room.
Now we're good.
Okay. We're back in open session, so, we do need to discuss setting a meeting,
Yep, special meeting?
special meeting, and it would be in April, the week after spring break. Let's look at the calendar. So, we are looking at the week of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I'm in Mount Vernon on the 8th, watching the eclipse.
Nice.
I'm in Bloomington, Indiana, looking at the eclipse.
There's not gonna be another eclipse in Illinois till 2099, there's no way I'm gonna be alive then.
I
So,
have a school board meeting. Maybe that should be my excuse.
I'll be in Boston, Illinois, teaching PE.
I also have a board meeting Monday and Tuesday that week, so.
So,
well, we typically do Thursdays.
yeah, the 11th?
I have a
I
trip.
have 3 board meetings that week.
I have-
You need a different job.
It's.
Well,
And,
but,
and again, it doesn't have to be a special board meeting. It would be nice to get it out of the way.
You're saying we could hold it until our regular
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
let's wrap this up.
18th.
I like that, thank you.
What's the 10th look like for everybody?
I could call in if I need to. Okay,
Yep,
yeah,
sure.
I can call in, cause we have a track meet that I have to be at.
You
But,
can call into the track meet.
yeah, on my cell phone in my car. Hello. So it's not gonna be like,
Well,
I mean, if we need to do a different day, like Tuesday, I could,
no, I have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday track meets, so, so.
I have baseball for the rest of my life till the end of July,
Yeah.
so I'll be here or I won't.
I will call in from my car to get this
so
done.
does the 10th, Sarah, does the 10th work for you? Okay, go back to Sarah. Brenda?
Yeah, 10th works for me.
Brett, are you good for the 10th?
Yeah, I might call in if we're playing team, but other than that.
Okay. You're calling,
Is that
we'd have to
Tuesday?
have,
Have to have 4 in
we have to
person.
have 4, it's a Wednesday, so you'd be okay in person?
I don't know. Unlikely, but I'll try.
You'd be able to do it? Alright, if we'd have 4, we only have,
I'll be here.
okay. I mean, we can let you know if we have 4 in person and
Yeah.
you have that going
Yeah.
on, it's okay. But we'd have to have at least 4 in person, and then we can add to the phone from that point forward, so.
6 or 6:30.
That's what my next question was gonna be, what time does everybody wanna do it? I could be here as early as 5:30.
If I can't be here, it won't be till 6:30 or after. I think we have practice that day, 5 to 6:30.
But you may not be able to at all.
If I can, it would be 6:30 or later, cause we do stuff.
If the weather turned out.
You wanna
Let's
do-
pray for rain.
Lightning, not just
Yeah.
rain, lightning.
I can for sure make sure I'm
Okay,
here.
so it's the 6:30 on the 10th work?
You can always let me know if you don't think you're gonna have enough out.
I think we'll be okay. We don't know about Sarah yet, so. Okay, so can we have a motion to set a special meeting on Wednesday, April 10th at 6:30 at Northbrook?
I'll make a motion to set a special board meeting on April 10th at 6:30 PM at Northbrook. And if something happens and it's not all done, then you'll just let us know.
Correct. And, yeah, at the district office.
Yeah, at the district office.
Yeah.
I'll second.
Espinosa?
Yes.
Schrader?
Yes.
Cost?
Yes.
Williams?
Yep.
Rapp?
Yes.
Comitas?
Yeah.
Landers?
Alright, then we have nothing else, could we have a motion to adjourn? At 8:08,
One motion to.
in a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Do we need to keep this, Brad, or do you need these back?
No, those are yours. That's,
Um,
that's a
Okay.